Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl AO Flow, and today's video I really wanted to focus on Mental Health Awareness Month. Since the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I just wanted to share a few things with you guys about that today. So just recently, like a few days ago, Ayesha Curry basically was on Red Table Talk and came out and said that she feels some type of way that she doesn't get attention from other men. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit, not to bash her, not to judge her, but to just, sprinkle a little on that. So, mental health is something very serious and should be taken very seriously. A lot of people commit suicide and have a lot of breakdowns because they don't spend enough time focusing on their mental health. Now, in regards to what Ayesha said, she also posted on her Instagram that she does not want to hide her truth. She doesn't want to hide how she feels, and she's too old for that. And I can honestly agree with her in so many ways. Yes, do not hide your truth. If that's how you feel, then talk about it. If making yourself that vulnerable helps you grow and it might help somebody else, then by all means, go ahead. What I wanted to say was, yes, I understand. I see where she's coming from when she says that it kind of makes her feel some type of way that she doesn't get that attention. Because look at Gucci and Keisha. Keisha's beautiful. Keisha's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like, she's married, but men are still very, very much attracted to her. She keeps up with herself. She takes great care of herself. In my personal opinion, again, not to bash her, she's a beautiful woman, but when I think of Ayesha Curry, I think of a grandma. Like, I think of somebody's grandma. And I feel bad because that probably makes her feel bad. Like, oh my God, like these people, like she probably thinks men aren't attracted, other men aren't attracted to her. Well, I don't know. But in terms of like, oh shit, hold on, guys, I'm sorry, I have a situation, hold on. In terms of her, like, let's compare it. In terms of her level of sexiness, look at Keisha, look at Ayesha, you know what I'm saying? It's like, her level of sexy is more like, let me dress like I'm 52. That might get them going. Sexy. Like, I don't see her put on like a nice tight dress. And you are not, that does not make you sexy. But if the attention that she's craving so much, if that's what she wants, then she kind of gotta dress down a little bit. Like, you gotta like show a little booty. You know what I'm saying? Let me see that ass and them tights. Like, turn around, girl. Like, we don't see that. We don't see that. We see your children. We see apple juice and carrot sticks and your green bean casserole. Oh shit. Okay, let me stop. But I feel bad. But she's, again, Ayesha, you are so beautiful, girl. You should not be worried about the opinions of other men. That's not your husband. But again, Mental Health Awareness Month. We gotta be kind and let people talk their truths. Now, I want to talk my truth in terms of Mental Health Awareness Month, because I have never talked my truth about mental health. I've never came out and ever said anything about mental health, and I'm gonna do that. Again, as you guys know, I'm Jamaican, I'm Caribbean, and in the Caribbean culture, mental health, we don't spend enough time on we don't spend any time at all on mental health. In Jamaica, if you have any type of mental health issues, it's not recognized as mental health. It's more of, you need God, you need to go to church, or like you got demons, like you're mad, or that's your lifestyle, like you choose to be that way. Like, people don't ever, like in Jamaica, people don't think like, okay, you don't want to be this way, like you have something wrong with you. They're automatically like, oh no, this person is mad, they need God, like go to church, you'll feel better. And it's really not, that's not the case. Like, seriously have a chemical imbalance in your brain and you need help. But in Jamaica, they don't recognize it like that. So growing up, I've always had anxiety, I've always had depression, and that wasn't, in my home, that was not something that I could physically come out and talk about. I couldn't come out and say, I'm depressed or something's wrong with me. Like, I just could not talk about my pain or my truth because, again, I would just need to go read my Bible instead of being offered help. So that made me bottle up my emotions. That made me not want to talk. That made me scared to talk. It made me afraid. It made me very sheltered, you know? Ooh, God, it's hitting me. Yeah, it made me very sheltered and afraid to talk. I bottle my emotions until it's a big explosion. And that's so bad because I bottle and bottle and bottle and bottle and bottle till I can't bottle no more. And I am screaming, crying, overwhelmed with all my stress. Like, everything just attacks me at one time. Because I don't know how to vent. I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know how not to be afraid of judgment. That's my biggest issue. I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid of letting my walls down and someone attacking me because I let my guard down and I let myself be vulnerable. At one point, and I feel like that's why some of my relationships in the past didn't work out, because I was always so sheltered with my emotions that I didn't know how to show emotion, that I bottled. I didn't know real love, and I was in a really horrible relationship at one point, very mentally and emotionally abusive, and I thought that was love. Like, I had someone telling me that nobody was ever gonna love me, nobody was gonna want me after he was done with me, and I believed him, and I thought that's all I deserved. And that also, like, really messed me up too. Like, bad relationships can really take a toll on you. That's why you have to be careful who you let in your life, who you let into your mind, your body, your soul, because they can really taint you and leave like a horrible stain of anger, hurt. Like, don't do it to yourself. If it's toxic, let it go. I learned that now. When I was younger, I actually got Baker acted, and I was admitted in West Palm to a mental institution for about a good 2 weeks because I tried to commit suicide. I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with my life. I hated everything. I was miserable, and I had gotten into a huge fight with my mom, and I felt like she didn't love me. I felt like she didn't care about me, and I just felt like if I swallowed all those pills, everything would be okay and everything would go away. All my pain, my frustration, my stress, my hurt, all of it would go away. And I did it. But in that moment, my mother's husband at the time walked in and saw what I had done and forced me to regurgitate the pills that I had swallowed. I was so lost, and I needed somebody to talk to. I called my dad, and I expressed the feelings that I was feeling to him. And he was really worried about me, so he called DCF. When I went to school the next day, they pulled me out of class to talk to me, to ask me some questions and to see like how I was doing. And the guy that was evaluating me, he could tell by my body language, he could tell by my responses, he could tell, like, there are certain questions that they ask you to get a certain response out of you, to see, like, if you're all the way here or not. And I guess I wasn't all the way there, and he was like, nah, she's done. Yeah, she's done. She gotta go. And I was so, like, out of it. I had anxiety. I was scared because I thought I was gonna get in trouble by my mom, like, because DCF was there. It was so much going through my mind at one time that I just blacked. And I passed out in the office, and they had me take it to the hospital in an ambulance. When I got to the hospital, I was, like, dazed, confused, like, not really knowing what was going on. At this point, I didn't know I was going to get Baker acted when they brought me to the hospital. I didn't know any of that was going on. I just thought, like, I passed out, so then they needed to bring me to the hospital to make sure, like, I didn't, like, have a concussion or something. Maybe I hit my head when I fell, who knows. But when they brought me to the hospital, I was in the room, and I was calm. I had my phone on me, and I was texting my boyfriend at the time, and the nurse came in my room. She saw me with my phone in my hand, and she was like, "You're not supposed to have that." And she snatched my cell phone from me, and I was like, "Give it back now. Give it back right now. What do you mean I'm not supposed to have it?" Like, I started to spaz on her, because, you're a teenager. Like, your cell phone is your life. Don't touch the phone. Don't take my phone. You take my phone, I'm gonna find a way to communicate with people if you take my phone. But she wasn't my mama, so I was like, "Bitch, give me back my phone. Fuck you mean I'm not supposed to have it?" She was like, "You're getting Baker acted." I was like, "What does that mean?" I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, "What are you talking about? What does that mean?" She was like, "Oh, you don't know what's going on?" "No, I don't know what's going on." And she was like, "Oh." And she was like, "Okay, I'll be right back." She never came back. She took my phone and never came back. When she came back, it was to tell me that I was getting transported. I was like, "So my mom's not coming to get me? I'm not going home? Where am I getting transported to?" And then that's when she finally, like, before the guy came and got me, explained to me what was happening. And I was so scared. I was only, like, 16 at the time. So I was 16 or 17. No, I was 16. I was 16 when that happened, and I was terrified. When I got there, I didn't get there until, like, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I sat in a room by myself for hours because I had to process my paperwork. They had to do a whole bunch of, like, paperwork stuff before I can actually, like, lay down and get settled. When I got there, it was after 12. When I got to the mental health place, when I got to the hospital, it was the other hospital. It was after 12. I was hungry, tired, confused, miserable. They brought me to my room. It looked like a jail cell. And my roommate was sleeping, so I didn't want to wake her up, but I couldn't sleep because I was in a new place. I was confused. I was scared. And all I did was cry. I just laid my head on the pillow and cried. I cried myself to sleep that night. That first night, I cried myself to sleep because I didn't know what was going on. So I unfortunately woke up my roommate, and she was like, "Don't cry. It'll be okay." It sucks that I don't remember her name because she was a really nice girl. I hope she's okay. But I actually made some friends in there. We didn't communicate after we left, but I have one friend on social media that I made while I was there, and she's doing amazing for herself now. Like, amazing. She has She has a great job. She has a family now. She has a son and she has a baby on the way. Congrats to her. I'm not going to put her name out because it doesn't even matter. Her man does music, and he actually has over 1 million views on SoundCloud. So that's like amazing. Like, they're on their way to doing great things in life, and I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of everything that she has accomplished in her life. Unfortunately, we did not keep in touch after, and that sucks because we could have been great friends. But I'm proud of you, and you know exactly who you are because I'm going to send this video to you after. I'm so proud of you. I haven't told you that in years, but my God, you have no idea. We came a long way from that time, from that place. That was a hard place to grow from. You know, every morning they'd have us on a routine. We'd get up at the butt crack of morning, eat breakfast, sit in group, watch videos of people with substance abuse, people with mental health, just all of this stuff. They'd make us talk in group. Like, we'd go around in a circle, and you have to share why you're there. You have to share how you got to this place. And I had to tell them I tried to kill myself. And that was the hardest thing to talk about, because how do you really talk about self-harm in front of a room full of people who probably they're in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. But if you haven't come to terms with it, it's really hard for you to come out and talk about, especially to other people. So that was the biggest challenge for me there. And after I left, I never went back. I took a lot of the tools to cope that they gave me into my everyday life to help me survive. And it has gotten me pretty far, because I've never attempted to do that again. I tried to cope with my anxiety and depression in other ways. I try my hardest not to bottle my emotions, because I myself can't handle that. I can't handle the bottling. It's too much for me. But I'd like to say that I've grown from that person. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not in that place anymore. And I would never judge anybody that's in that place or coming from that place, because I know what it feels like to be in that place. So again, for Mental Health Awareness Month, guys, you never know what somebody's going through. You never know how life is affecting them at the moment. So always take into consideration, you know, we're all human and we're not perfect, and we shouldn't judge. Now, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, because I know that some people are afraid to talk their truth, and I am not afraid to talk my truth. I am not afraid to say that that's what I've went through in my life. Judge me if you want, judge you, mammy. But that's what I went through, and I'm a much better person, and I have grown from that, and I will continue to grow from that. But I just wanted to share that. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at hibiscus. I will drop that below. And I will see you guys for the next video. Bye.